Hey guys, so today I'll be doing a review of the 1144 high grade RX-78 Origin version. Out of the box, the kit itself comes molded in that normal white, blue, red, yellow, and gray as per normal for a lead Gundam. And as for stickers, the stickers are the camera lens on the head, the eyes, and the V on the crotch here. And then for other details, there are some areas wherein the inner frame or the gray parts are poking out on the white armor, like here on the knees and on the body here, as well as on the arms and some on the weapons and accessories. So out of all of the high-grade Gundams or RX-78 Gundams, the Origin version is the most detailed one of all of them. So first off are the hands. So it comes with the normal open palm hands for both arms. As you can see here, they are very detailed and looks very good as a hand option. And I think that they molded in the detail of the master grade version of the hand, because the hinge here on the ball joint it looks the same as the hand from the master grade version of the Origin. So yeah. And then there's also the normal holding hands for both arms, both left and right arms. So you can see here they are also detailed like the open palm hands. And they also gave you two trigger finger hands for both the left and right arms. And because it has two trigger finger hands, he can dual wield the beam rifles that it has. And speaking of the beam rifles, here is the normal beam rifle, which is all molded in gray, and there's a little bit of yellow on the scope here. And this is the beam rifle version that is similar to the beam rifles of all of the RX-78s. And the scope here can move up and down. The secondary handle here can also move up and down. And there's a hidden peg here on the inside of the beam rifle so that you can attach it onto the back of the Gundam here, just like so, when it's not being used. And then the other beam rifle is the much bigger beam rifle, which is also in a similar gray with a yellow part here for the scope and a green sticker for the sensor here on the top. And for moving parts, the scope here can move up and down as well, and there's a secondary handle on the ammo pack, just like so. And to attach it onto the hand or the arm, they're just on simple ball joints. You can just remove the existing open palm hand and just attach it on the arm, just like so, just like any other handheld weapons. And the big rifle here can also be mounted onto the backpack or the back skirt with the same peg as the normal beam rifle. So you can have an option of either the normal beam rifle or the bigger version of the beam rifle attached onto the backpack, or you can just have it dual wielding the beam rifles, just like what I do. Just like so. So it has both beam rifles attached on it all at once. And then other handheld weapon is the bazooka. So it's very different from the normal bazooka of the RX-78, which is all molded in gray. So this guy has gray and white and some yellow. So the whole shaft here is white, with the hook part here also in white, which has a hinge. And then the handle here can move up and down as well. And the scope here can move in and out just like so. And there's a yellow sticker for the scope on the bazooka. And there's a peg here on the handle which can peg on the trigger finger hands. All of the beam rifles have pegs on them to connect it onto the hands so that they can be secured on it and just not wiggle around. And it also has a connector piece for the attachment here on the back skirt, although I lost mine, so it cannot connect the bazooka here on the back skirt, just like the other weapons, unfortunately. And then next up is the beam saber. So there's a beam saber here on the backpack. You have an option of either putting two beam sabers or just a single beam saber here on the backpack, because there's another equipment that can be attached on the backpack that I will go over later. So here's the beam saber handle. It's a little bit detailed, not that much on the bottom, as you can see here. And they gave you two beam effect parts for the beam sabers, which fits just like so. And you need to use the normal holding hand to use the beam saber, just like so. And they are secure enough that even if you tilt it down, the beam saber will not fall down from the hand. And speaking of the other weapon for the shoulder or the backpack, we just reattach the beam saber here. You have an option of the shoulder cannon or another beam saber. So here is the shoulder cannon, which is very detailed, although it doesn't have any sticker for the scope here on the top part. And the magazine here is not removable, unlike the master grade version. And also there's a hinge here on the top of the bottom of the gun, which moves in and out. And then the connector piece here is what's connecting it onto the backpack. So there's a hole here on the back, which connects either the beam saber handle or the shoulder cannon here, just like so. And you can have the shoulder cannon attached onto the backpack. And then the last accessory, or the last normal accessory, is the shield. So it's the normal Gundam shield with the bottom piece here much wider than the normal shield. As you can see here, it's much wider on the bottom, and the cross is placed much higher. And then for the internal part, the gray part here can slide up and down on a track when it's being attached onto the hand. And then there's a handle here which moves on a hinge on the gray part. And then the connector piece itself can move in and out from the same hinge and also rotate. And to attach it onto the arm, in the box art, the shield is attached upside down just like this, but you can also attach it like a normal shield if you want to, but I prefer to attach it upside down because that's what they showed on the box. So to connect it onto the arm, you can connect it on either left or right arm because they both have the holes for the shield connector, and you attach it just like so, and that is the shield connected onto the arm itself. So if I have the connector piece for the bazooka on the back skirt, he can have all of his weapon attached on him all at once. And then the other accessories for this guy is the option parts to make it either the early type or the secondary type of the Origin Gundam. So it comes with an extra waist part with an extra middle piece, front skirt and side skirt, and the yellow piece on the back skirt here, although it didn't give you any extra white piece for the back skirt here. And then they gave you also the extra front of the chest for the other version of the Origin Gundam. The only difference is that the details here are different from the normal chest piece here, as you can see, although they both have the opening parts here on the shoulders, which can be changed into either a missile pod or a Gatling gun for both sides. And then they also gave you an extra wrist armor for both hands if you don't want the machine guns on the arms here. As you can see, you can have an option of either the machine gun or the normal style hands or arms. They also give you the extra beam saber rack for the other side of the backpack if you don't want to use the shoulder cannon, or if you don't want it just lying around, you can attach it onto the back of the arm as a separate beam saber, just like so. And the last parts are for the shoulders, so they are the same vents as on the existing shoulder here. The only difference is that this one, the top part is flat, while this one has the the hanger part here for the parachute pack on the shoulder armor. So those are the only difference between the two, but the vents are the same, as you can see here. So those are all the accessories that comes with the kit. The neck is on a triple joint, so a ball joint on the torso, a ball joint on the head, and then a hinge on the neck, which lets it move up very far, like so, and then down that far, side to side just a little bit, and rotate all the way around. And as you can see, the Vulcans here are molded separately from the head, and they are molded together with the eyes, so you have an option of either the stickers or the just plain yellow, and just line up the borders of the eyes on the head. For the shoulders, they are on a polycap hinge and ball joint combo here on the body, which lets it move forward about that far, and then the ball joint itself can move in and out, up and down, and also rotate all the way around. And then the shoulder armor is separate from the shoulder joint, which lets it move forward or outside about that far. Then together with the ball joint, they can move out parallel to the body. And then there's a swivel joint here on the bicep, which rotate all the way around. The elbows are on double joints, which you can go about that far, almost touching each other. And then the wrists are on typical ball joints, which lets them rotate and wiggle around. The torso, it's on a ball joint coming from the waist here, and then there's a hinge on the inside of the torso, which lets it move forward about that far, as you can see here, and move back about that far, then side to side, not that much, and rotate all the way around. So it's the only version of the RX-78 which can rotate all the way around on the waist. And then the thrusters here can move up and down. They are on ball joints. The waist, the front skirts are molded together, but you can separate them. They are on ball joints, so they can go up about that far. The side skirts are on a hinge, so they can move up about that far, and also forward and back. The back skirts are fixed post, it doesn't move. And then there's a sliding mechanism on the waist, which lets the leg move forward and back from the waist. And then the hips are on pegs, so they can go forward about that far, go back that far, out that far, and also there's a little bit of rotation from the thigh here. And then the knees are on double joints, and the knee armor here is separate from the lower leg. And when you bend it, it has a separating gimmick when it's bent, just like so. And the bend looks very good. And then for the ankles, there's a hinge from the leg here, or a ball joint, which lets it move forward and back, just like so. Rotate about that far. and also move in and out, it's like so. Then the ankle armor is on a ball joint on the foot here, on the foot joint, which rotates like so. And then there's a toe joint, which lets the toe go up about that far. So here is the origin version next to the first grade RX-78, next to the entry grade 2009 version, the entry grade 2020 version, the G30 high grade version, the revive version, and the Beyond Global version. Overall, I think this is the best RX-78 high grade version that we've gotten so far, because in terms of color separation, articulation, and the accessories that it has, it tops all of the other versions of the RX-78, even the old real grade. Although if you compare it to the real grade 2.0, that will be the best 101/44 scale because of the gimmicks and the engineering that they gave it. So while waiting for the real grade 2.0, this is the best RX-78 that we have gotten so far. In terms of color scheme, I think this is the best of all of them because the white is already white, and I think that I don't know why they have different colors of the white parts of the RX-78. Sometimes it's a greenish of white color, sometimes it's a bluish of white color, or grayish white of color. So they cannot decide which is the real white color for the RX-78. So they decided to just make the origin version of white, the normal white. So yeah. And the use of stickers is very minimal. They only use stickers on certain parts that are not that visible. But the V part here is still a separate sticker. They cannot use a separate part for the V here, unlike the Beyond Global and the entry grade, because the yellow parts here and the yellow parts on the back skirt are separate pieces. And also some of the scopes on the weapons are stickers as well. But the weapons are great, especially the bazooka, which is very color separated, unlike the other bazookas of the other kits from high grade RX-78s, because it's made up of different colors like white, gray, and yellow, unlike the other ones which only comes in gray. So that's a big plus on the weapons here. And also, they gave us all of the weapons that the Gundam Origin itself uses in the anime. And they also gave us the options of either giving us or making the early type or the later type of the Origin, because they gave all of the parts to make them. But I decided to just mix both of them and use parts from the early type and the later type on my version. So it's a mix of all of those. And I think that in the articulation part, it's great and it's sturdy. Some of the parts are still stiff, even though this kit is already 4 years old. So, yeah, it's a really great kit. So, if you're looking for a much better high grade version of the RX-78 while waiting for the real grade 2.0, you can get this guy and enjoy the build because it's a great kit. So that's it for this review. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye!